Two, one. What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of our Stay at Home online open mic presented by the Barbed Wire Open Mic Series, something we refer to as BWOMS. My name is Richie Marrufo, and I am the project director, the current project director of this whole thing. And we are located in El Paso, Texas, supported via Border Senses, a local literary nonprofit organization. So shout out to everyone who is tuning in right now. If you're live, yeah, that's awesome. Great to have you. We have a whole archive of past episodes that you can check out on our YouTube channel. So if this is your first time tuning in, you can go back and relive some pretty awesome moments, to be honest. Maybe this is me just riffing right now off the top of the head. But if you guys are a watcher, if you're a viewer, and if you're a participant, if you've ever participated in these, it's pretty much open to anyone who's familiar with this event. Maybe we could do some voting for like a greatest hits, like out of all these past shows. We can go and scroll through and maybe find interesting moments that we can highlight for various reasons. And we can do like a retrospective show. That's maybe something we should have done for our anniversary shows. I'm not one for those big crazy celebrations, but I thought that would be kind of cool if we can revisit some moments at some point. So now would be the time to go through all the footage. And thankfully, as I mentioned, not only are these VODs, videos on demand, you can go back and just check out our whole archive of online open mics anytime we've streamed. But pretty much all of them, I think all of them, no, absolutely all of them are time-stamped thanks to Kit. So that's pretty cool stuff. If this is your first time here, this is like any other open mic. If you want to perform, you have to sign up. The sign-up sheet is available in the description of this YouTube video. Obviously, if this has already happened, that link is no longer going to be good. So if you want to be kept up to date with the newest links, the freshest links for any upcoming show, then go ahead and follow us on social media. Something that I'm really, really trying to push is getting our subscriber count up on this YouTube channel, getting more engagement. So something that will, and I don't want to say it, but it's there for a reason. If you guys can, something that really help is if you like this video, like push the like button, subscribe. If you want to be notified anytime we upload new content, there's a bell you can click. Any of those things help. You can also help share it with your network. So if you know anyone who likes spoken word poetry, who likes writing workshops, singer-songwriters, music, any of that kind of stuff, share it with those peeps who might be interested. We're always interested in growing. We, even 100 plus episodes in, we are still getting new performers signing up. So that is always a lot of fun. I want to give a shout out to Nick Paleologos, who I just saw just joined. What's going on, man? I also saw Urban Cowboy Poet just join. So yes, if you guys want to join in on the list, we do have to sign up. It is in the link to the description of YouTube. Also, as an audience member, as a viewer, definitely we encourage you to participate. You can say hello in the chat. It's always great to see people, like see who's tuning in. So if you just say hello, we'll try and get back to you guys on the live chat. And as always, you're going to get to hear a little bit of something from everyone, whether it be like if they have a book coming out, they have a book already out, their social media, their YouTube channels. So there's a lot of ways to support. So without further ado, I'm going to graciously hand the reins to tonight's host, who always just does such an excellent job. I'm going to fade into the background and help with a lot of the tech stuff and also the YouTube live chat. So once again, thank you guys so much. Thank you for tuning in, and I'm going to go ahead and introduce today's host. Let's go ahead and make some noise for Kid Wren, Mr. Monday Nights. Yo, go and take it away.
As always, thank you, Richie. The sun has made its way to its home in the western sky, and it is Monday night in El Paso, and we're here together celebrating the spoken word, celebrating music, celebrating art, however we find it. I'm going to start with a quick cover. This is Verse de Societe by Philip Larkin. My wife and I have asked a crowd of craps to come and waste their time in ours. Perhaps you'd care to join us. In a pig's ass, friend. Day comes to an end. The gas fire breathes, the trees are darkly swayed, and so, dear Warlock Williams, I'm afraid. Funny how hard it is to be alone. I could spend half my evenings if I wanted, holding a glass of washing sherry, canted over to catch the dribble of some bitch who's read nothing but witch. Just think of all the spare time that has flown straight into nothingness by being filled with forks and faces rather than repaid under a lamp, hearing the noise of wind and looking out to see the moon thinned to an air-sharpened blade. A life, and yet how sternly it's instilled, all solitude is selfish. No one now believes the hermit with his gown and dish, talking to God who's gone too. The big wish is to have people nice to you, which means doing it back somehow. Virtue is social. Are then these routines playing at goodness, like going to church? Something that bores us? Something we don't do well? Asking that ass about his fool research. But try to feel, because however crudely it shows us what should be. Too subtle that. Too decent too. Oh hell, only the young can be alone freely. The time is shorter now for company, and sitting by a lamp more often brings not peace, but other things. Beyond the light stand failure and remorse, whispering, "Dear Warlock Williams, why, of course." Yes, a little surly British people to get us started, but we are a much brighter crew in general, and we have a lot of familiar faces, a few people I haven't seen in a while, and at least one totally new performer, which I'm excited about. But we're starting in the familiar, captivating gallery up in the Rocky Mountains with Mr. Michael Sindler. And Michael, whenever you're ready, step to the mic.
Sure. Hey, everybody. Good to see y'all. I have been really sort of stumped to a great extent trying to write for the last several weeks. So I'm really glad I actually managed to get some new stuff that at least is maybe worth reading. So I'm going to give you a chance and read some of those. Obviously, this is rough. This first one is called Not Every Closing. Not every closing has an opening within the scale by which we weigh. Not every history finds the light of day. When the iris of the world corkscrewed round to near hermetical shutdown, when communication seemed uncertain, we were lucky a solution was found. Technology grown for specific audience, blossomed into ripeness and fed demand. Platform allowing worldwide connection has kept us linked and therefore sane. New hope for commonality to commingle. And thus great things have come to be. Few thought 2 years past of global family, solitary rooms brought together in Zoom. Not every closing has an opening, nor does every sadness hide treasure, holding light of hope and awe. And next one is called There Is So Much of You, which is sort of talking to a lot of why I had writer's block for a while. There is so much of you around. You are seen daily in the street, mixing in conversation when friends or strangers meet. You skip and plod across squares and through marble hallways, echoes portending change while silences groan, bemoaning stillness, setting one against the other. You're seen roughly plastered over whitewashed reportage. There is so much of you, and you're so loud, so big, so broad, so Pampaloma bull berserk among porcelain, plate, faith, and gorge discourse caught in cord. There's so much of you feeling force grown all too strong, corn-high elephant in room howling, all oxygen used to arouse rage, until apoplectic we fall wheezing, dazed and dizzy in the dust. And last, another real upbeat. This is called Victims of Ourselves. No, it is not the world itself that will end, not until long after we are gone, a memory only noted by the waste we left behind. We, who will have followed species we drove into extinction, will ourselves be long extinct, planet changing and evolving, our brief moment less than a lost breath in galactic time. Yes, this world will end, our yellow star expanding, its heat engulfing and deleting all hint of element dispersed in cosmos as it grows. Its own span but a talk in the beating clock rung loud by Big Bang, saw itself falling back, collapsing on itself, another flicker lost in future. But we will not see such awesome fate, far too late for creatures who colluded to wipe cells out, want and greed, overpowered need for balanced ecosystem. We will not see the sun come to meet and melt sweet earth. We will long since have been victims of ourselves. And with all that cheeriness, it's time to put the hat on. And this one, I do believe, it's not officially as far as I know, but I believe this is a tribute to the great Jack Kerouac by another great modern beat who I do a lot of stuff by. And this is called Bad Liver and a Broken Heart in Lowell. Well, I got a bad liver and a broken heart. Yeah, I drunk me a river since you tore me apart. And I don't have a drinking problem except when I can't get a drink. And I wish you'd have known her. We were quite a pair. She was sharp as razor and soft as prayer. So welcome to the continuing saga. She was my better half and I was just a dog. So here I am, slumped. I've been chipped and I've been chumped on my stool. So buy this fool some spirits and libations. It's these railroad station bars and all these conductors and porters, and I'm all out of quarters. And this epitaph is the aftermath. Yeah, I chose my path. Hey, come on, Kath. He's a lawyer. He ain't the one for you. No, the moon ain't romantic. It's intimidating as hell. And some guy's trying to sell me a watch. And so I'll meet you at the bottom of a bottle of bargain scotch. You got me a bottle and a dream. It's so maudlin, it seems. You can name your poison, go on ahead and make some noise. I ain't sentimental. This ain't a purchase. It's a rental and it's purgatory. And hey, what's your story? Well, I don't even care because I got my own double cross to bear. And I'll see your red label and I'll raise you one more and you can pour me a cab and I just can't drink anymore because it don't douse the flames that are started by dames. It ain't like asbestos. It don't do nothing but rest us assured and substantiate the rumors that you've heard. And that, of course, is by the great Tom Waits. So thank you very much.
Oh, thank you. I love getting Tom Waits in this format that I hadn't dreamed of before, of the dramatic reading. Michael, where can the people find you?
Well, you know, I'm always around, but I do want to, as always, put out the word for lighthousewriters.org, which is doing such great stuff. Just amazing, amazing things. Lots of free events and things going on. Every second Friday is Queer Creatives. Every third Friday is Writing in Color, which are wonderful communities that are available on Zoom that everybody can join in on if you feel part of those communities. and lots of classes are starting up, all kinds of good stuff. So yeah, thank y'all very much.
All right. Thank you, Michael. And Michael Sindler, great to see you. And we're going to move now from Denver to the East Coast to New Jersey, where our friend Terri Rose is waiting. And we are very excited to see what they have to say. Terri, are you ready?
Yeah. Hi. I'm going to read from My Abyss. I Wrote Him Free, poems by poet Khan Ross Faya. So there's so much in here. I kind of don't know where to start, but okay, I'm going to read Atropa Belladonna. I know why they say do not love a poet, because a poet makes love to pain, strums to come again and again and again and again, drains the entire bottle down their throat, mouth agape wide, head thrown back, eyes closed, taking it all in down to the last drop. Do not fall for a poet, because we make similes out of a brutal, truthful tragedies. Sonnets from blasphemous history. We write mysteries with our pens that remain unsolved. Stories of gruesome deaths, puberty eulogies, impurities in our air, despair in every stare. What the fuck is life without the love of your life? A poet bleeding on a stage in front of a crowd of dropped jaws. Popcorn. Are you fucking entertained? Did I slam? I make love to pain. Make love in rain. Make friends with fire. I make love to your broken heart. Shards on the floor ignite me. Arouse me. Excite these nouns and verbs to make unwelcomed mentions of stories you no longer wish to be hinged with. Do not fall for a poet, because they have forever, on a first name basis, serving poker faces to the crowd of on-watchers, hedged on the edge of their seat, longing to feel hysterically proud. No one hears the loud screams of, I wrote him free. I wrote him out of prison. I wrote him free with me. Corona gave him his wings. In the end, we all win. So does my pen. This is an awesome book. Buy this book. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Written by an awesome poet.
Yes, Ross rules, no doubt.
So I have a book too. Chameleon Chronicles. Also, if you're interested in my book, you can PM me. I have Cash App, I have PayPal. And I guess I'm not scheduled to do anything until like September, when I'm going to be hopefully going to the Poetry Festival in New York City. So, and I was just at a poetry festival in Atlantic City. And then another event that they had that was interesting, that I got interviewed on radio. I believe it was not a radio, but podcasts. So I don't have the link to that, but the other links I'll put in the chat. iFunny's mom on Instagram and Teresa Rose Jertson on Facebook.
Okay. I'm a bit biased when it comes to cover poems, but I do love it when people use them in such a generous way to highlight peers. I just use it to read dead people, but y'all have found a different and perhaps better way of using that concept. And I really, really love it whenever that happens. And yes, PoetCon in the house. Got to hear that tribute to her. Isn't that nice? Maybe we'll hear more from them later. Maybe we won't. I don't know. I'm just the host. I'm not necessarily in control. But coming up next, we have a real treat for everyone. He is published several times over, and and we'll be featuring on this Thursday with two other San Francisco Bay Area poets for the Rivertown Poets pop-up three-way poetry reading. And I will leave sharing the link up to him. But from Oakland, California, we have the great Dee Allen coming up to the mic. Please, when you're ready.
By all means, Mr. Wren, share the link for anybody who cares. Three poems for tonight. I'm doing the whole 7 minutes. The first one is called Reclamation. Scavengers of history have taken your image and likeness, those bondage shots, those bikini shots, pics of you playing on Miami Beach, and made thousands, perhaps millions, in their reproduced states. And this was long after you said your tacit farewell to modeling, New York City, winter 1957. Exploitation benefited the scavengers, not you. Still, the interest in you returned in the first George Bush years, remember? And you returned too, making more money in seclusion than you did for 7 years as everybody's favorite pinup. Reclamation of self, younger self, sensuous self. The image scavengers won't win this time, Betty. That was called Reclamation. The next poem is called Fantastique. A little something deeply personal. Fantastique, photo album number 6, featuring Betty Page, image produced by the Claws against red tinted bedroom backdrop, two-toned big boot dominatrix only for pictures, invited viewers to come to her. Seductively shot magazine cover, date unknown. Drew me to her one day, seductively shot on a medium black t-shirt, hung on a gift shop rack. The moment we met in 1998, the sight of you was enough to start a love affair. No, a harmless crush. Miss Betty, welcome visitor to my nightly dreams. Mainstream America's interest in you began during my worst unemployment streak, 1992. I slept through most of it like Rip Van Winkle. Woke up for your revival, arrived late for the party. Miss Betty, camera-ready, gorgeous lady. How did you manage with a good little choir girl and a wicked femme fatale living within you? Both roles worked to your advantage. The keys to men's hearts were held jangling in your hand. Miss Betty, your copycats came and went, but I knew who the real deal was. Fantastique, French word that best describes you. Lighthearted you, inventive you, sensuous you, forward-thinking you. Fantastique, fits you good and snug as a pair of black leather opera gloves. And that second poem was called Fantastique. And I'm about to show y'all the picture that inspired this particular poem.
Yeah, you can leave that up for a long time.
This is Betty Page on the cover of number 6 of the magazine Fantastique. Date unknown. Total red, boudoir backdrop with Betty Page in black and white wearing the biggest, stompiest looking boots with white boot straps and her usual black lingerie and those black leather opera gloves I mentioned in the last line. The late, great Betty Page, one of the 1950s greatest pinup models. And the last one is mercifully short, one goddamn page. And I'm going to use the share screen feature one more time. This one is called Ungoth Confessions. 1, I hate periwinkles, long pointy-toed shoes, and creepers, thick, chunky-soled shoes. Both are clownish and ugly. The main point of being a goth is to try your best to look like neither. 2, I despise bondage. As a person of West African descent, the fascination with whips, chains, and the master-slave dichotomy reminds me too much of fucking slavery. Leave that in colonial times. 3, I never liked the music from Depeche Mode, The Cure, The Smiths, and solo material by Morrissey. More profuse crying than actual singing from any of them. 4, I have no goth friends living near me or otherwise. 5, only 50% of my wardrobe is black. 6, I'm too chicken shit to apply manic panic color dye to my hair when I had hair. 7, I've never had a goth girlfriend. 8, I've never read Dracula, Phantom of the Opera, The Hunchback of Notre Dame, Interview with the Vampire of Jane Eyre. The Twilight books don't count as legit gothic lit in my eyes. I prefer vampires to burst into extraordinary flame when faced with sunlight, not have skin that sparkles like diamonds in its hot shine. 9, I've never worn black fingernail polish. 10, I'm no longer goth. And that last poem, or should I say rant or checklist, is called Ungoth Confessions. From this mic to your ears, I'm Dee Allen. Thanks for listening. And I dedicate this portion of the open mic to tonight's guest host, Kit Wren of El Paso.
From your mic to my ears. Thank you so much, Dee. That last poem was a real departure for you, and list poems are a thing. We're going to call that a poem. Oh, I was unprepared for that in a lot of ways. That was very, very funny. Thank you so much, Dee. But we're going now from the Bay to very close at home. In fact, about 90 feet that way. Less than 90 feet. What in the world? This house isn't that big. But we are going to the Paris Review published Miss Robin Scofield. When you're ready, please take the mic.
Thank you. Thank you, my son. I'm going to do something that Richie gave me permission to do. I'm going to read a very timely but longish poem. It's called Ridge of High Pressure. 1, May. Coyote Nicker snarls at my black dog and me, dodging up the hill. Her coat same hue as summer's yellow grasses, and the tan rocks snaked with ochre under a stalled ridge of high pressure, pushing moisture away, triple digits and drought in the El Paso desert, as though our 8 inches per year is too much to ask from the rain gods. The churlish coyote doesn't flinch, as she will do, but steps toward us, curling her lip. Burrowing owls dance by the dam, and sunjowls creep over the mountain as we halt in the heat, having started too late for it to be cool. While pups yammer across the arroyo in the blue lake of their cave, and it dawns on me why she's so brazen. She's not mad from the heat. We're blocking mother from din. My dog and I have to turn our backs on her and hurry up the path and down. No way to go but past her to get away, as in all the legends. I am afraid the price for this hike could be high. I listen for padded paws behind us, but blood clamps up my ears like the hard rain that doesn't come because the ridge of high pressure won't budge today or tomorrow. Then I hear Knickers as the pups settle down. I know she's with them. She's there like lightning. 2, June. Under another ridge of high pressure, we walk at dawn in our urban park, where there is a wildness to which I cannot speak, for I don't know how to mourn. The 2 coyote pups I find dead on the dam in early June, pelts slit, too young to know, to beware the easy prey, how often a fatal trap, the free dog food or cat flesh. They didn't know how high a blood price had to be paid. Yet another ridge of high pressure, the color of rust, an upside down kettle, as the dog and I climb and descend on the 3 Hills Loop Trail. Hot, windy days forecast, haboob and drought endure, unlike a road that fades into mirage. Coyote carries on nightly, drinking from the park's sprinklers and prowling the desert jackrabbits that nibble the ball fields, fattening up and slowing down. Easy food, but at a price. Coyote, without her pups now, scats on the trail, the gray hair and bones of the hare, whose flesh she has torn and eaten. 3, July. It's supposed to be rainy, but again, a ridge of high pressure sifts over us, stifling and tall. The seasonal monsoon cratering off the yellow and orange mass on the weather maps, the west consumed in cartoonish orange flames. Before dawn, we were up to walk on the ridge of hills, my dog, nose keen, to sense the doe and her twin fawns in the arroyo, looking for water in the hollow spots, the huecos in the snake-ridden rocks. Coyote doesn't know in her softball paradise that the western forests groan under the lightness of fire, and that it makes the beauty of the sunsets unbearable. And yet she is uneasy. She knows the price is high. And I also want to do a little peer-to-peer cover poem. It's by a friend of mine named Liskin Van Pelt Deuce. Yeah, that's her name. It's called In Flight. Oh, this is from her new chapbook. It's called Letters to My Dead. And this one is called In Flight. I was thinking about the day we spotted a merlin, and you told me they once were called lady hawks because noble women used them to hunt skylarks. Imagine, how could they hunt skylarks? We spent a lot of time looking at the sky, you and I, or closing our eyes and gazing at the blood orange of our eyelids lit by the sun. Good for our sight, you claimed, and I never wanted to check. I liked to take your word for things. Merlins have 2 speeds, you told me, 0 or 30 plus miles an hour, either waiting or killing. Poor skylarks didn't have a chance. Know where their name comes from? They sing in flight, rising and hovering to deliver their multitude of notes. On the anniversary of your death, I want to skywrite your name, a song hanging in the air, the color of your eyes. So that's my reading tonight. And you can find me on Facebook under my name. What else? Yeah, that's it. Oh yeah, and I have a workshop coming up, a Tumblewords workshop. 2 workshops on August 20th and 27th. I'm going to do a workshop about Rilke, the great Prague-born German-speaking poet, Rainer Maria Rilke. What else have I got coming up? I have a new book. This was the first poem in the new book, the title poem.
And that'll be out next year
Yes, 2023.
from
Yes.
Mouthfield Press. Very exciting. Thank you again, Robin Scofield. And gosh, that Ridge of High Pressure poem has been looking for a home for a while, and I'm glad it found one. It's a marvelous piece of work. And I look forward to seeing it in something I can flip through. But coming up next, we're making our way to the swamps of Jersey, as Mr. Springsteen would put it. And we are going to visit with our great friend, Nick Paleologos, who loves it when I hit every vowel in his name just like that. Nick, how are you?
Everything is well. It was a bit of a rough day today, but I'm glad that I'm here. Glad I get to see you host, kid. That's pretty awesome. Mr. Monday Night, rocking out. I saw you rock out at Tumblewords Saturday. I'll be at this Saturday, so, from one host to another, it's great to see you, again. Let's get into it because, I could keep throwing roses at you, but it would take you the entirety of the open mic and everything like that. So, I'm going to do 3 poems. One is a cover. This first one is actually from Kit's workshop. So here we go. I like this one a lot. So I did not choose to write. Writing chose me. It's all something in me. Evil comes disguised as an angel. Walk to the light from the dark cave I built. I said, here I am. What the fuck do you want? And a hungover binge. I heard a voice say, take up a pen. I heard another say, be vicious with your words. Slaughter your trauma with poison ink. I baptized pain with healing. The dead memories came to life. Zombie zest and dead hearts. Evil has consumed me before. The guise of God. My words can easily get misconstrued, no matter how direct I am, no matter the comfort in my home. I was on my own for a while. No matter the cost, just survive on the boiled blood within. This state is this sinner, trying to write his sins out and the evil done to him. I want to be delivered. I do know what evil looks like when writing takes hold of me. Pay attention to the message. These sober thoughts keep me alive. Writing chose me. Motion, this is my fifth right here. Add versus reaction, and I'm just going to open it up. And it opened up to this poem right here. So this is When Comets Cry. When I peer into your eyes, why does your galaxies cry? Instead of seeing stars and meteors fly by, they leak out your eyes. I will wipe them away as we clutch together, turning sadness into supernova. I am sure your trials have been deeper than black holes could understand. Your shoulders colder than Neptune, your pain as gigantic as Jupiter, your rage vast as Mars. Are you feeling excluded like Pluto? Well, you are a planet amongst the system, Show yourself some love like Venus. Invest within as Mercury does. It's okay if you spin differently like Uranus. You clutch so tightly to yourself. You hold plenty of pain from these years. Release yourself. Take time to heal. Ground yourself to the earth. Take a breath in and out. Open your eyes and repeat after me. It's going to be okay. All right. That being said, this is my last one for y'all. And who else but I'm going to cover but my thing works, but Dee Allen in the room. I like this one a lot. This one's called Still by Dee Allen. Numeral 400, as in 400 parts per million. Carbon dioxide we release into the atmosphere. Among other gases, chemical, warning signs in the sky we still ignore. We can't take the heat rising below the clouds, but we still burn coal and petrol, and we still burn carbon dioxide, and we still release clouds of exhaust while driving cars, and still there's no more ozone layer, and still the sun feels much hotter than usual, and still Arctic glaciers melt, and still there's floods happening, and still there's droughts in some places, and still there's crazy weather on the real, and still there's almost no more polar bears, and still there's chainsaw reversal of nature, forests into deserts, and still there's oceans turning acidic, and still there's people who believe this is false. We still ignore the everyday changes, the worst kind in Pachamama. Still believe none of this is our fault. Wars voluntaria, tios, rai, numeral 400, as in 400 parts per million, carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. 350 parts per million would be better. 260, desirable. There's a Latin phrase that means suicide of the earth, of the entire earth. And again, that's a poem called Still by Dee Allen from the book Stormwater. If you want to drop that info into the chat of how you can get stormwater, that'd be fantastic. Thank you all for having me.
Thank you. They call him Jersey Jesus in some corners of this internet. Nick, where can the people find you? Do you have any events coming up?
Yes, I do. I have this Wednesday, I have Right to the Mic coming up. The theme for the workshop around it will be International Chess Day. So it's going to be based around chess and everything like that. So it's going to be very interesting how I'm going to do this and everything. There's also a live open mic afterwards. So if you want to share anything else from either that portion of the workshop or also, just want to share your own stuff and everything. 8 p.m. EDT, 6 p.m. El Paso time. And I'm hosting Tumblewords this Saturday. I will be the title of it's called Spirituality Duality. And this Tuesday I will be at Kean University. So if you're in the Jersey area, come see me at Kean. Or I'll also be in the Bronx. This Friday too as well. I'll be live there too as well. As soon as I get those details, I'll drop it. And also, Real Nick PIG, Facebook Nick Paleologos. I will drop all my info in the chat.
All right. Thank you so much, Nick, as always. And next, we are going to hop in our biplane and fly all the way over to Malaysia. And that's where our friend Julian Matthews resides. And hopefully the drilling has stopped above him. But even if it hasn't, we'll just power right through it. Julian, whenever you're ready.
Hi.
Hi, good to see you.
I have a long prose piece that I'm going to attempt to do. I hope you can bear with me. posted it yesterday. How's the audio? Is it okay?
Sounds great.
Chasing the sun. I was chasing you today. I spotted you just over the tree line, first behind a lone cloud, then as I got closer, just over the houses. I needed line of sight to snap you, but silly me, I tried getting closer and closer, walking faster down the roads lined with double parked cars and out into after-work traffic. Now you were just above the shop houses, a dental service with a big toothy billboard, an artist's rendition of an extraction with your toothless orb obscured by a tree. I realized too late I needed to step away instead, not go closer, and as I got further, saw you inextricably rise. The distance for you so minuscule, of course. 93 million miles we were taught in school, now around 150 million kilometers, as if the metric system means anything to you. You have been shining for 4.5 billion years, or is that 4.6 billion years? What's 100 million years between old friends, sunny sun? Then I got it, the money shot, but blur in my shaky handheld phone, an upgrade long overdue to capture your true self. Still, I must add, a flattering younger you, no less, by 499 seconds, or around 8 minutes, the time it takes for your generous light to reach Earth and hit my tiny lens. No selfie this time. I would not insult you with my gargantuan ugly mug in the foreground with you peeking over my shoulder like a Zoom bomber. That would not do your majestical countenance justice. Oh, I tried, sunny sun, I did try. I think back how early man must have freaked out when you eclipsed the first time. They worshipped you like a god and got their shamans and high priests to appease you with paeans and animal and maybe even human sacrifices, just so you could come back. You emerged just in time, before they got the sack or were beheaded. They figured out your routine and built temples in your honor, framing them in your direction and in precisely calculated angles to welcome your solar return to their backyard. Now we have a bigger eye in the sky. It costs US $10 billion. But what is human currency to you, sunny sun? Couldn't even buy you some proper shut-eye at a 5-star hotel, or even a night at the mythical Hotel California where you can check out anytime you like, but you can never leave. Wait, no, don't check out and never leave. We still need you even though our gaze has wandered. We look beyond you now with a telescope ironically named after a web. As we stretch our spidery tentacles further into the last frontier. Not Jimmy Webb, the famous songwriter who gave us timeless classics like Wichita Lineman with the lines, searching in the sun for another overload, and I need you more than want you, and I want you for all time. Which would have made sense, but James E. Webb, the homophobe, administrator and political appointee who kicked bona fide scientists from NASA for being gay. And despite the protests and petition, NASA's defense of Webb's resume, leading the Mercury, Gemini, and early Apollo programs, stuck like a fly to fly paper. Adding to insult, the telescope's earliest image were of 8 and 6 pointed stars instead of Hubble's 4 pointed ones. Snowflakes to replace crosses. Oh, the labels we humans weave. A web so complex you simply have no concern with it, dear sunny sun, as if anyone in your corner of the universe was keeping score, while us tiny blips of life in the space-time continuum were noting down every point for future argument. Marketing hype for Alien, the movie, is a truism after all. In space, no one can hear you scream. So we take you for granted again, sunny sun, because you are like the furniture, a favorite couch, ever present until you sink too low or lose your spring, which you never have, not at least until another 7 billion years or so. We rather cast our gaze at ghosts now. We salivate over each cluster of light in these new images, a galaxy with trillions of planets and millions of other stars from 4.6 billion to 13 billion years ago. Perfect hindsight is now pay dirt. You are among the lesser stars in our Milky Way, and we like the infant who forgets the breast for the loyalty towards the bottle, ignore you to look for new highs. Our apparent excuse, so we know we are not alone, as if we still needed to locate among those ghostly planets, possibly all folded in black holes now, a livable, habitable alternative to the one we have royally messed up. As if the aliens, if they exist, cared to make a connection with another supposedly intelligent life. Maybe we will end up like the grouchy spinster down the street who lived alone and never opened her door at Halloween, eventually found dead 2 years later, mummified on an armchair in front of the TV, her mailbox stuffed with unpaid Netflix bills. Stranger things have happened. So why do we continue to persist? Because we can. Because science matters. Because the plan is to hop from Moon to Mars in a billionaire Death Star race until we reach exoplanet after exoplanet to spread our homicidal genes, to impregnate space with our selfish seeds, and perpetrate the same genocidal crimes to which no celestial court will ever exist to find us guilty. Will our colonial conquistador all-conquering mindset and behavior change when we send our multi-general future explorers further and further afield? I trust the natives on those other planets will not be happy. And if their telescopes spotted us first and observed our shenanigans for even a century, they may have already found a way to Facebook-like block us forever. Just like my chase down the roads of my neighborhood today, oh sunny sun, just to capture you. It quickly grew dark in the walk back, and I was huffing and puffing, and no house was blowing down before me. Just another foolish man fooled by the sun again, and tomorrow, and tomorrow, and tomorrow, in an endless galaxy quest, a Star Trek too far, perhaps. One small cry for this man, one giant weep for mankind. I'll awake early tomorrow, sunny sun. Don't give up on me yet, my silver lady. I know you'll be there as always, and this old poet will be there to try to catch you again. Because just like the line in another Jimmy Webb classic, MacArthur's Park, after all the loves of my life, you'll still be the one for me. Thank you.
Wow, thank you, Julian. That was very good, very impressive. And where can folks find you online if they want more things like that in their life?
I'll just drop it in the chat.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much, Julian. That's been one of the wonderful things about this mic. We started this 2 years ago, just sort of a blind hope, and it grew so quickly and so gangly, and it's literally an international following. We're not just projecting just over the El Paso is an international city, so we were perhaps international from the beginning, but now we've made our way across the entire globe. I think we're only missing one continent in our track. But we're gonna bring it back to the home. We're gonna bring it back to our home country. We're gonna bring it back to our nation's capital, in fact, because there is a man who lives there, and everything he says rhymes, I swear. Yeah, there you go. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome, ladies, gentlemen, and everyone else, please welcome Ed Poetastic.
Because you make me feel fantastic, and thank you for being so enthusiastic. Kid, I knew you were a hit every time you spit. All right, my name is Ed Poetastic. I feel fantastic. Please get a time to go join my rhyme for I feel sublime. I got 7 jokes and 3 poems.
Told you.
Cheers to you, my brother from another mother that had words of thunder. Woo! All right. What do you call an elephant wearing a sweater? Woolly mammoth. Why was the ant mad at the ant farmer? The farmer said they all look the same. Why was the wolf fired from his night job? He kept howling at the moon. What was the bee's catchphrase at the comedy show? You won't believe it, but here's a real stinger to your funny bones. What did they call the dog who loves eating tomatoes? A bloodhound. Why was the spider arrested? They found his web of lies. And last but not least, why was the rhino so fidgety? He was too horny. All right, hope you enjoy that. I hope it you can put these jokes on in the tip of your hat. Okay, now about that. I got 3 poems, and one of the poem is called Colorful Bow. A little black for what a little black for what is that. A little white to spread the light. A little tan is always in demand. A little red to make it bright up ahead. A little brown to make it like the ground. A little orange, no color should be hinged. A little yellow for more of a glow. A little green to be less mean. A little blue to clear our view. A little pink to relax and calmly sink. A little gray to, what can I say? A little silver to make it deliver. A little gold to make it look bold. A little indigo to make hearts explode. A little violet to make it a splashing hit. It's a rainbow to tie it up in one big bow. Love your color. Love it like no other. Love it to recover and not suffer. Thank you. All right, got another piece, say least. No, I got a second piece. This is called Tattoos of Death. Let me see. Sorry about that. Here it is. Tattoos of Death. The passionate marks of loss of little gain that confuse my most, that drives me completely insane, soaked in the huge downpours of careless whispers while the heart starts to cry and whimper. My bloodshot eyes getting redder like a rose while my brain dream instantly explodes. The ink emblems of a time that needs to be forgotten while my future brutalized, neglected, and rotten. I felt cool being the fool who regrets and sorrows and hoards, blind by my own accord. They didn't recognize me, but I still wear their pink ashes. The pain comes in waves of burns and rapid flashes. Where's my medal, trophy, or happy ending? My tears are flying and sadly transcending. These painful tattoos of my blazing scars that burns vast and bright and permanent as our orange star. My struggles to maintain love just to be cast aside like a target. However, the markers cause an endless pool of agonized regret, cast aside like an old bottle or an empty can, while the sun pities me with a free tan. My skin cries with sorrow from the scorching embers of venomous kisses, yet nailed by sarcastic remarks of so long and best wishes. My heart slowly dries up like raisins in the sun, while my body full of rocks that weighs in tons, trying to pick myself up or put myself together for a righteous cause. My body is stuck in a mute and pause. Like they say, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Only fuels you a little longer. The enormous world doesn't show you any soft comfort or soft pity. Yet after pain, just stay pretty. Thank you. I got one more for encore. This is called this is called Clear Symphony. Water is life. The marvel H2O, feeding the plants. Look how it flows. Wash away the ants, the falling crystal glow, scaring your cats, buying it in plastic rolls. Invisible at a glance, cleanse our skin and clothes, absorb how it dance, the gift of aquatic shows. Poseidon mighty lance, harsher than a shark or a pillow. The translucent romance, dripping through your nose. The refreshing trance, soothing your head and toes. The peaceful snake dance, art every time it runs or froze. Adam's ale, a slurping chance. The gems left in hungry meadows. The crystal train taking a stance. Waters everywhere, moving wherever it goes. To where? Nobody knows. Thank you.
All right, there is no one like him that I've met. Ed Poetastic.
Woo!
And,
Thank you, sis. You're always a smashing hit.
and Eddie, every week is someone's first show. So tell the people where they can find you and what you've got going on.
Well, I'm going on strong all day long. Well, you can follow me. Come to this wonderful open mic that makes everyone Monday such a delight in the spotlight. But you want to follow me, please feel free. My Facebook is Eddy Foreman and my IG is Eddy Foreman 92. Remember, if the mic is right, I'll be there to shine my that's the insight. If you send me a question, if you take a guess, the answer is yes. I hope everyone stays safe, positive, and blessed, and never stop spewing the words outside your chest, and never stop feeling and being your best.
That's a tall order, but we'll do what we can, Eddie. Ed Poetastic.
Woo!
And
sorry.
Oh, he can't help it.
That's awesome, man. I love it. I love it.
Goodness. No, we love the positive energy and spin you bring to every week, and long may it continue. Coming up next, we're gonna head to a dusty, dingy classroom in Los Angeles, and we're having that dream again where we've forgotten our homework, and that's the trouble because class is in session. Please welcome Mr. Tezozomoc.
Hey, Kit, how are you? Thank you for that hypnotic writing and then impulse me to sign up. Thank you.
You're a smart guy now,
huh? No, actually, it's a compliment, actually. It takes us many years to get there. I have two items. One is a piece I'm working on, and it will be a reading of a dialogue and stuff. So I'm going to jump into that, and then I'll have a song after that. Folks can catch me on Instagram under Gaseous 2019, on Facebook under Pandemic Poets of the group, and then also Gaseous 2019 on Facebook. This is titled Speculative Resentment Bureau. Fade in. Interior Speculative Resentment Bureau Hearing Room Day. Pan. Hearing masses to Bureau model. Voiceover. We are not at peace with others because we are not at peace with ourselves. Thomas Merton. Bailiff calls the meeting to order. People start to take their seats, and the Bureau Inquisitor prims to his authoritative properist. Lays his antique briefcase from the 50s, dark oak, Roosevelt, buffalo leather pilot briefcase with an extensive set of pockets with leather sewn flaps, straps, and meticulously polished brass buckles. Pulls out a replica United States Congress gavels and round bases, the US Senate hourglass shape and no handle, similar to the ones since used from 1834 till 1954 when Vice President Richard Nixon broke them during the heated debate on nuclear energy. Bailiff. We want to welcome the public to the Speculative Resentment Bureau. Just a reminder to the public that this Bureau received its authority under the Reconciliation Act after the 2032 MAGA Civil War as a means for peace and reconciliation. Injustice masses, in a chorus, off-screen voice. Hang the traitors! Hang the traitors! Resentment, injustice masses, off-screen voice. Make America great again! Bailiff. Order! Order! If the public doesn't come to order, you will be swarmed by stormtroopers and escorted from the building, and you may end up in jail too. The Inquisitor pushes his glasses with his right hand and quickly grabs the gavel and bangs it on the table almost as hard as Nixon did when he broke the original elephant ivory base, never to be replaced, but with a silver plate. Bureau Inquisitor. We are here to exercise the transition of the private into the public, to recapitulate the perceived notions of injustice and those who perceive an injustice from the mitigation of injustice itself. The Inquisitor takes a deep breath and looks up at the public with a frowning disapproval as he scans the whole room. Bureau Inquisitor continue. Resentment, reconciliation, and forgiveness are freedom of opinion. Opinion is a freedom for private people. The Inquisitor pauses and looks down at his prize gavels. Bureau Inquisitor continue. It is necessary for the competition of opinions in which the best opinion wins. Injustice, masses, off-screen voice. Bullshit, bullshit, hang those fools. Bailiff jumps from his desk and scans the audience for the culprit. Bailiff, order! Whoever is being inappropriate will be removed. This is my last warning. Goes back to his desk and sits down. Bureau Inquisitor. Reconciliation via the fact checking of the Bureau Advocate, Mr. Lutz, Cipher, and competition will render the ultimate truth. The Bureau Advocate stands up from his desk and waves at the public. He rolls his fingers into the form of a gun with the bottom three fingers rolled and as the handle and the index finger as the barrel of the gun, and finally thumbs as the triggers of his weapons, holding them out, pointed to the audience as he scans the audience. I'm here for you. Winks and then sits down. Bureau Inquisitor. The ultimum sapientia of the Bureau is the dynamic dialectic, the public deliberation of argument and counter-argument, the public debate and public discussion, the free competition of opinions and aims via discussion and public opinion will discover the truth. Fade out. That's that. Okay. Let's see if this is the stick or the carrot, huh?
Might be both. Might be a really large, blunt carrot.
Or a gavel, right? A 1834 gavel. Sun don't shine, the moon don't move the tide to wash me clean. Sun don't shine, the moon don't move the tides to wash me clean. Why so unforgiving? Why so cold? Been a long time crossing bridge of sighs. Cold wind blows, the gods look down in anger on this poor child. Cold wind blows, and gods look down in anger on this poor child. Why so unforgiving? Why so cold? Been a long time crossing bridge of sighs. Endgame.
Okay, that was a very large and thick carrot. Tez, you usually like to make a guessing game with this. Do you want to throw it open to the rest of the people, or should I just tell everyone?
So who else can jump in and help us with that? I do have a little story to tell behind this, because rock and roll is made out of lots of myths. Anybody else? Michael Sindler is pretty good about these. All right, Kit, you're it.
The song title is Bridge of Sighs. I'm blanking on the guy's name, but he was in Procol Harum before.
Yeah, Robin
Robin
Trower, like your mama's name.
Yeah.
Okay. And then,
So originally the myth was that it was about the bridge between the courthouse and the dungeons in Venice in the 1600s, known as the Rialto Bridge, over the Rio de Palazzo, where it was made out of limestone and it had a cover on it so it would resonate, and it had barred windows and people could literally hear the prisoners' sighs as they walked across from the interrogation chambers to the courthouse once they were condemned. But in reality, it was actually Robin Trower wrote it about a horse, a racehorse named Bridge of Sighs. So just to clear the rock and roll mythology there.
It was a horse, Tony. What, you're a vegetarian now? Everything comes back to the Sopranos with me, sorry. But we, thank you very much, Tezo, for the song and the lesson. But we are going to come to someone who we have not heard from in some time. And when she entered the chat, it was a very welcome surprise. And we are so happy to have them back. And we want to welcome now to the mic our very own, a fellow host of this program before, Con Russ Fire. Con, when you're ready, please step to the mic.
Turn the mic then. Hey, y'all. Hey, good evening, good evening, good evening. I want, give me just a second if I could. I'm sorry. I want to read some new shit. I don't know where the book is.
New shit.
New shit. I'm sorry. Could I have like a minute or two? I don't want to just have y'all waiting on me. I'm trying to find a book I wanted to read from. And I'm sorry, I just got in here. Can you just give me a second?
Oh, sure, that's not a problem. That's not a problem.
Okay, all right, let me just look for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
I'll be right back.
Well, we got you all excited, but we're gonna back off a little bit.
So what's good?
You know,
What's
Well
going
worth
on?
waiting for.
Yeah,
It
absolutely.
is. You're gonna thank us later. You're gonna understand that everything
Facts, I
tonight
also
had a
agree with that.
purpose.
That's right.
Gonna understand that everything tonight had a purpose, even if we didn't know that. But we're going to kick it back to the original host, the person whose idea this was. Oh, do you have it?
I'm ready.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
All right.
Hey y'all. So I want to do some covers tonight. I hope my head wrap will suffice. But I got 2 new additions to my homie poetry library. This is the one and only Paleologos. I was blessed to review her book, and I read it from front to back. Yeah, it's one of those books that let you know that you're not alone in those places that you don't even want to admit you're going through. It's a very, very awesome book. And I got me some Commissioner Chronicles. I was blessed to review this book as well. And I really wish I had the poem that I wrote that I was inspired to read. I wish I had it to read, but I don't. But I wrote it in Lee's workshop, and it was based off of this book. And it just, every woman should have this book. It's a safe place for us to just say how we really, really, really feel. And yeah, so I'm gonna just pick something from the homies' books and read them, because that's what I feel like doing. So let me see. Okay, so this is Drenched Raincoats by Paleologos, and I'm gonna be reading her piece, Poetry. I can't live as myself, can't do it without constantly drowning in invisible oceans, without suffocating on my very own existence, gagging as the membranes of my brain come undone within the seams of my body. Can't do it without having fragments of myself breaking up and decaying within the floor tiles. Because living means dying each and every single day, means breaking myself to fit into the norm, means reminding myself to breathe when there's only enough air for the billions of other souls who are defined as capable and functional. Because standing here means telling the parts of myself riddled with anxiety and chaos to hush long enough to voice my voice and not theirs. Because standing here means bargaining with the clasp of my darkness and rewarding it with upcoming hours just to have 5 minutes of serenity. Because standing here means completely falling apart before you call, because standing here means completely falling apart before you and calling it poetry.
Woo!
I'm a Patty, damn it. Let's go. And there is one in particular I'd like to read from Miss Terri's book. Yep. If I can just Karen and Friends. Oh man. Yeah. We address a little bit of everything in this book: racial issues, the dentist, which if you know, you know. And my beautiful Terri knows. And she just really exposed herself vulnerably in this book, and I love it so much. And she's a rhymer. But anyway, okay, Karen and Friends. Is it real or is it Maybelline? What is she wearing? Her heart on her sleeve, her privilege on her face and lips. Exercise that demon, wielding her power, her privilege, smashing the little people with her judgment. Is she better? She is better than they are, but she will never say such a thing because she has more class. She can feel better about herself and not so guilty when she leaves extra change on the counter for the next person in line at the grocery store. She comes home and then tells everybody about her unselfish act. When Karen dies, she specifies in her last will and testament that her riches will be left to her pet because she cannot see the worth in people. However, she will never say such a thing. She passes by those less fortunate with her rings turned inside, her fingers and her Versace bag shoved in a cheap tote so it cannot be glimpsed by those in need, lest they expect more than the change that falls in the bottom of said bag. She passes by them, averting her gaze. She thinks she will pray for them to improve their situation. Good Christian woman, the church lady, going to congregate with others just like her every Sunday. Jesus will save her, them, and those less fortunate, all dressed in their Sunday best, never realizing that she put lipstick on a pig. Praise the Lord. That's that man, okay? So these are our pandemic poets, our poets that, you know, last year we didn't have books. We got books now. And it is just a privilege and an honor and a blessing. Thank you. And I want to read something from mine too, if I can. Let's see. Look, do we want to get that deep? Not really. I'm sorry. Okay. I'm sorry. Okay, let's do this one. Mend my heart. I guess I will miss you forever. I guess I may never have you again. Maybe another man will mend my heart. Asking why is chewing bricks. My teeth are the proof. The truth is, we may not have our daughter. Our son may never call you father, may call another man father. Lord, help me to accept this discrepancy. It may never be us again, like how we could have been. My assignment is to allow, face another day somehow without you. Let love. I did not want to let love, but I will. I need serenity. Thank y'all. That's that piece. Thank you so much, man. Oh man.
Yes, poet, come on.
Thank y'all so much, man. I don't if can I read another one? I don't mean to just hog all the time. And you can tell me no. I just haven't got to hang out with the peeps in so long. Just no cons. Sit down, okay? Don't take the whole show.
Go right ahead.
Do you?
No.
Okay.
Go right
Okay.
ahead. Do it.
So I'm
Do it up.
trying to reach into writing more prolific poems, more. I'm working on my rap voice and finding my. I come through blazing a poem, ain't no gaze, and I'm just, you know what I mean? And it's been a bit of a challenge because I'm more comfortable with the pain as opposed to writing the affirmations, writing the, you know, the good shit. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, so my point saying all that is there is this poem I want to share. This in May, I was a part of an anthology that was released in May called Spark, and it's on Amazon. It was published by Red Thread Publishing, and it's a group of women just, you know, sharing stories of starting businesses and just what it's been like being an entrepreneur and a mom and whatever, you know. So anyway, if you want to check that out, that's on Amazon. It's called Spark, and it's written by, I guess might be under Sierra Melcher because she's the head publisher, but it's written by, it's published by Red Thread. So anyway, this is one of the, yeah, I'm gonna just read a little bit from it and then go into the poem. So my chapter in the book is called Grit. She looked right into my eyes. Teresa Mendoza is my newfound hero. To watch her rise, reign, murder the game with brains and a fitted black dress, Glock to match. The representation I received witnessing a woman run an organization from the ground up. She was delicate, bold, and most of all, determined to overcome poverty. Season 5 of the Queen of the South literally saved my life. It was not only the grand finale of an absolutely riveting series, the Queen penned at the end / top with her friends, family, her love, and most importantly, with her planned and thought through success / wealth. It was affirming. I realized that no excuse is worth the best parts of your life. Nothing is worth now or the opportunity to make the life you want with the resources at hand. So I'll jump into the poem. This poem is called Spirit. Not by might, not by power, nor by our, but by your spirit, God. Can you hear it? Calling for ears that face fears, create canvases of contrast. My will outlast the clay house washed away by mudslide. My soul must continue to seek the fountain, the frontier, innovator. My essence will pursue without ceasing a thirst for more knowings, blissful experiences, my spirit. So loud you can hear it in everything I do, cosmic energy sprinkled strategically throughout my body. I cry, but I survive. I realize there are diamonds in these fountains. Mountains stretching so high, they cast shadows that blanket traveled traumas. Let your river be exceedingly stretched abundantly. May the ground beneath you be more than your support. Foundation. The Haitians, Ukraine, Black America's pain, it's all the same. How the nation be so proud, loud about the business of gentrifying culture, docile, that vigorous spirit, they say. The passion be so loud, oh so proud. They can hear it. They can hear it. They can hear it and do not want to, but do you? That's the piece. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for my 10 minutes.
Woo!
I mean,
Yeah,
Making up for lost
Poetcon.
time.
Thank you,
Making up
guys.
for lost time. It's so good to see you again.
So good.
Do you have any
Love
any events upcoming? Anything where we can see you again?
No, I actually don't. I am brewing a, I'm just gonna manifest real quick. Speak that thing. I am brewing a in-person erotic open mic here in El Paso, Texas. I want to have it at the Berkeley. I'm just speaking that thing into existence. If you had ever been to the Berkeley, you'll know why it's absolutely gorgeous and sexy. But anyway, I want to make a, not even erotic, but more sensual, just something for the ladies, something geared towards that. So yeah, and aside from that, man, I just I wanted to talk to you, kid. If you need any help with tumble words, love, I know that's kind of your baby now. I'll get with you, but I want to be involved in keeping that going for Miss Donna Wall, So, and thank you for doing that. And so you guys can find me on Instagram. I'm Poet Conross Fire. If you start typing it in, it should pull me up. And I'm Erica Tilley on Facebook. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Con. And a really fun thing when Richie lets someone else have his hosting chair, so we get to have a little bit of a fun role reverse. He has these elaborate introductions for me, the catchphrases, Mr. Monday Night, etc., etc. And I have a catchphrase for him, and he doesn't like it. That's okay, because that's not about him, and it is true. So I want everyone to please welcome the hardest working man on the border, the man who's made all of this possible for all of us. Please welcome Richie Marrufo.
Woo!
Richie!
Oh, right on, man. Yes, I appreciate it, man. I'm gonna steal your mumble transition and just go straight into it. There's been a lot of love shown tonight, and BWOMS is obviously very important. Something that I've been doing for over a decade now. Damn, yeah, I started in 2012 running it. But before that, I wanted to show some love to my homie. He's the co-founder of BWOMS. It was founded in 2007. But before I get to that, I have a couple of cover poems in tribute to him, and I'll talk more about that. But I wanted to share a piece that I have read before, maybe once or twice, but I thought it was pretty fitting with the new James Webb telescope photos coming out. Crystal clear, super nice photos, and I just think it's a great reminder. So this is from a Jersey poet, Vincent Toro, And the title is, at age 28, Chilean astronomer Maritza Soto has already discovered 3 planets. Right. Haloed by the glow of the multiverse swirling above La Silla Observatory, your Pyrex eye spotted an orb 3 times the mass of Jupiter. All these lenses leering at the heavens, and yet it was you who identified HD 110014C. You were reluctant to call it a discovery, perhaps because you know all too well what poisons gush forth from that word. Or maybe you suspect you were not the first because you know there is no such thing as firsts. Still, you did what no gringo ever could. You made another word visible to nosotros. Perchance, it was HD 110014C that actually recognized you long before your spectroscopic lens detected her. It might even be that she had already decided to entrust you with making her presence known to our kind. After all, you proved yourself more than worthy of such responsibility when you said your finding was not exceptional, annihilating the misguided Western patriarchal notion of greatness too many others have used to boost themselves since 1492. You even confessed your introduction to HD 110014C was entirely an accident, a courageous admission that eclipses the bumbling arrogance of every Columbus, every Cortes, every Pizarro from 300 million light years away. You glimpsed another possibility, then befriended 2 more exoplanets before your 28th year around our Lilliputian sun. You sprung from a country crystallized in its morning of the disappeared. Hold on, my monitor's gonna turn off. Okay, sorry. Let me start that again. You sprung from a country crystallized in its morning of the disappeared, met a glorious dawn and flash fused to emerge as one woman search party, Maestra Maritza. I know this goes against all scientific wisdom, but I can't help but theorize that these 3 interstellar marvels you've pulled into our orbit have become a new home for those that collapsed into the event horizon of imperial cruelty. I like to suppose that our gente were never erased, but rather beamed to a star system that does not regard them as merely tool or trinket, a galaxy where their dreams are as important as those who dwell in some imaginary north. Could it be, Maritza, that when you scoped out there among the shimmering allness was in fact a reunion pachanga thrown on the gold dust rings of a wandering star, where discovery is not a sword of Damocles, but instead a feathered re-entry path for those who have been missing us? All right, that's Vincent Toro. Apologize for the break in the reading of it. My monitor was going to turn off, and I would have lost it all. Okay, anyway, so I have a couple cover poems that I want to share. They are written by my good friend Roberto Santos, who was the project director and MC and host of BWOMS long before I took over. You know, I started doing open mics in 2008, bringing my poems and my sax to jam out at open mics, and I really fell in love with the idea of what an open mic can be as a space that invites others to take the creative leap, share work, and hopefully allow people to be vulnerable with each other in these ways and really make new friends. And so I took over eventually at some point, but he has a couple pieces that I'd like to share. They're quick. This one's called Risky Art. Eventually, the point arrives where theories can no longer help, where the ideas of our predecessors are of no use, where you can no longer read up on how to start a poem or how to end a poem. I don't know how or when. I know only how it feels to walk a tightrope without a safety net below. Okay. This one's called Downtown El Paso. If you know, you know. And it's also probably true of other places. This Mexican Korea town of dollar stores funnels border crossers to 3 sodas for $1, to Chile frosted corn elotes in styrofoam cups, to plastic Batman tanks and 10-pound belt buckle soldered horses, statues of 1-ply toilet paper and pointy alligator skin boots. They come in hordes, juggle Chile stained fingers against Korean merchandise, pass through smoke at the foot of Chihuahuan Hills because ancient costumbres are hard to break, like skin tight jeans on big booty mannequins, like metal fences with barbed wire shopping bags shredded sideways into the gunpowdered sky, like the retail and wholesale of Selena blankets and cartel marijuana. Downtown El Paso. All right. This one's called, and this is the last one, Little Babylon Soldier. And this is actually a poem of his that I perform a lot with musicians and stuff, and to me, I was able to memorize this piece, for a long time while performing. So to me, it was always like just kind of a cool tribute to memorize one of my friend's poems. To help, it's really catchy and sing song. All right, here we go. Little Babylon Soldier. Hey, little man, put that ball down. Moneybags got a new toy to play with now. It has a little trigger and makes a loud sound. Sign your name bigger, you'll be king of the playground. Now go tell your mama you'll be home soon. Forget her tears and drama, her voice and perfume. You're going overseas where black smoke looms. Out in the Middle East, my commodity is crude. Down in that sandbox, it's all a bloody game, just like your Xbox. Point your toy and aim. Shoot through fire showers, pack away the pain. Forget about the hours, son. I own your name. Now go tell your mama. Now go tell your mama you'll be home soon. In one way or another, body bag to the tomb. Right, and that's Little Babylon Soldier. That's Roberto Santos, MFA. He started his own business called Rap Seminar. It's lyrical rap analysis, and he's also starting a school. So he sells these awesome rap kits, MC toolkits, with writing prompts. And so if you're a writer, I mean, all of you guys are, right? Definitely look into it. So shout out to Rob and Rap Seminar. And without further ado, I'm going to hand it back to Kit. So we can hand it off to Dan, who's going to hand it off to Kit, who's going to hand it back to me if things work out accordingly. So thank you guys for tuning in. You can find me online, Dead Wall Reveries on Instagram, and I'll see you at the next one. Peace.
Okay. It's a complicated dance, but we can do it. So the next step. Oh, thank you so much, Richie. But we are almost to the end of proceedings tonight. It's been a great night, but we're looking in the bullpen and we're calling for the right-hander. You are right-handed, right, Dan? I don't actually know.
Yeah, I'm right-handed.
Okay, we're calling for the right-hander. He's going to come in and he's going to throw some fireballs. If you know, you know. If you don't, you'll find out. Please welcome Dan the Man.
Okay, hello everybody. Yep, I hold on. Okay, I hold on these two right there. Yep, the Bronx and early and late by Donald Peterson. Yep, there it is. Click. Yeah, thank you. All right. First, Early and Late by Donald Peterson. All right, hold on. And it's page 58, Early and Late. We've struggled in the lines, and we stood with them all, 35 years and more. Here, let us pause. Some of our numbers flattered, and some of them fell out, though we fought for them, all about equality. Some of them stuck in their blows in service of truth, doing their duty. Some were seized with affection. One lady fell, one likely childlike mischief, One student tried to lift her, one weak student, who ever afterward, recalling how she grinned at him, was prone to tears and laughter. Live, she demanded his attention. Dead, she overwhelmed the boy. He burned, he froze. The winter winds were nothing to the winds that strung within him. Thinking of the lady, he shook with tears and laughter in his loins, till sick to death, he joined her in repose. Two roses then, one white, one crimson, grew out of their graves. Enough of it, let's go. For who can speak the woe of men and women? The fluent ones become stammerer. Some readers might inquire, what fuss is this? Things never seem so heavy, not in this world. End quote. Give them an older book that will remind them not of Bruce and the spider that tried and tried, but the finished web, looking deceptively easy, not of those who died for the freedom to speak, and their ancestors had, but the new meanings wound in the accustomed device, the roses intertwined. Yeah, early and late. That's page 58, early and late, by Donald Peterson. Okay. Next, my second, it is the Brontes. Yep, selected poems.
The Brontes.
Brontes. Damn. What did I keep
It's all right. Now you know.
And it is a poem by Charlotte Bronte, Life, page 18. Okay. Life. Believe is not a dream, so dark as sages say. Oft a little morning rain foretells a pleasant day. Sometimes there are clouds of gloom, but these are transient all, if the shower will make the roses bloom. Oh, why lament its fall? Rapidly, merrily, life's sunny hours flit by. Gratefully, cheerily, enjoy them as they fly. What though death at times steps in? What calls our best away? What through sorrow seems to win? O'er hope a heavy sway, yet hoping again, elastic springs, unconquered, though she fell, still buoyant at her golden wings, still strong to bear us well, manfully, fearlessly, the day of trial bear, for gloriously, victoriously, can conquer, quell despair. Well, that is Life by Charlotte Bronte, page 18, the Brontes selected poems. All right. Okay, and that is it for right now.
Right, Dan. And now you're going to show your card, because that's how you do.
Yep.
Live entertainment, folks. Nothing like it.
Okay. All right, here it is. Read it and weep it. I'm behind post on Twitter and Facebook, but you can follow me on Instagram, and you can find my page. You can find my YouTube channel on YouTube. Don't find Dan the Man's Weekly on YouTube. Don't forget the hashtag Dan the Man's Weekly. Okay. Thank you guys, and I hope to see you back here next Monday. All right, Kit, let's go ahead and tell Richie, let's call it a night.
Oh.
Thanks a lot, everybody.
Whatever you say, boss. Okay. Well, it's been another great evening together with everyone. I want to thank everyone who read. I want to thank everyone who watched. And if you're in the future, hi. You look nice. You've been working out. And just real quick, get my little socials on here, just in case you want more from your dashing host. And that's Instagram at Kit Ran Away, Twitter at Kit Talk Sports, Kofi.com/KitRen for some cool essays about football history. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on email. You can drop something in the tip jar if you feel so moved. And another successful edition of the Monday night stay-at-home open mic brought to you by the Barbed Wire Open Mic Series. And we'll throw it back to our fearless leader, Richie Marrufo, real quick to say goodnight for everyone.
Fearless. That's a hell of a label. Oh, I'm super zoomed in right now. I don't know how that happened, but all right, cool. Can you guys hear that? All right, a little bit of closing out music, you know what I'm saying? So wonderful job by Kit Wren. As always, thanks for coming through and doing your thing. It always helps. You help out so much. Con does as well. I know Nick does as well, like in the past. So as always, we're going to be here next week. I am going to try and put everything out like super earlier than usual. So be on the lookout for that. By the way, there is a new system it's not new, but we're going to be a new system now where we're going to take Kit's timestamps and add them to the description of the YouTube video. So now you'll have actual sections with your name on it on the YouTube video. So that's going to come out really cool. So without further ado, guys, if you haven't already, check out Barbed Wire Open Mic online. My name is Rich. For all the performers, you guys killed it as always. We're going to go ahead and hang out in the after party. So if you know how to get here, what are you waiting for? All right, YouTube people, come join us in the after party. We're going to hang out for a little bit, keep it chill. I already got the lounge music started and everything. All right. So we will see you guys next time for the BWOMS open mic, stay at home open mic. Come catch us Tuesday at Mono Bar, next Thursday at Old Sheepdog Brew.